So I'm at my doctor's appointment right now. I've been coming to this doctor for about 20 years, and I can't stand coming here. Not for him, but just the fact that I come here and I have to deal with this kidney issues all the time. So I'm gonna get my checkup, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm sitting in my office. I just came from the hospital doctor's appointment. So update is blood pressure was 120 over 84, which is good, but it ain't over. I got to get a catheter in my stomach. I got to go through peritoneal dialysis now. So I got to get prepared for peritoneal dialysis in about 2 weeks. So that's the end of the month, the end of April. So once I think about it, I hope I don't miss the fight. But that's pretty much the update. So we'll see what happens. Um, Kidney don't look like it's gonna get better according to the doctor. But of course, I always keep hope. I've been dealing with this for 20 years, so I know anything can happen. So we'll go from there, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Okay, I just left the hospital for my doctor's appointment. So my kidney function is roughly 10%. So I'm gonna have to go back on dialysis. Tomorrow I go in to see about peritoneal, how they're gonna put it in. So this is about the third time I'll be on dialysis. It's pretty much routine at this point. I'm over it. I go up to Sunset tomorrow and go see this other doctor, see how they're gonna put it in. And okay, I'm sitting here at the Sunset Kaiser pre-op. Just saw the lady. She says the blood pressure is a little high. It was 142 over 94, I believe. Little high, not too bad. So just waiting on the results. We'll do a physical. Hope the physical goes well. And then after that, we go to another department and we get some more tests done. And we'll go from there. Okay, it's the second day. Headed to urology to check out the cancer in my kidney. So we're going in to see what's going on with the cancer in my kidney. It is roughly 4:30, almost 5. It's March 23rd. I'm in here for the kidney transplant. Excuse me, kidney removal of my original kidneys. They got cancer in them, so it's going to be a 6-hour procedure. They're going to take the kidneys out, and we'll see how we feel after that. I just got out of surgery. It's a success. They took both of my kidneys out. My original kidneys that had cancer. So now I'm living with my transplanted kidney. The pain is extremely high, but I'm glad that I made it. I'm glad that it's over and I can start moving on and helping people
helping people lose weight, lose blood sugar, lower blood sugar, and lower their hypertension, which is something that you really don't want to go through. But I went through it.
Okay, right now I'm literally being discharged from Kaiser Permanente. It is 3:20. It's March 29th, 12 p.m. I'm about to go home. I had my surgery Tuesday. I want to say March 21st. So they took out 2 kidneys. 2 of my original kidneys had cancer in them. They took it out. Seems to be a success. And I'm headed home to relax. They gave me some pills for it. I'm very happy that this is over. And it's time to heal and move on and help people not be in my position. So until next time, 10-4. Or is it Wednesday? But it's April 1st. I'm going to get my stitches taken out. So as of right now, my back look like it's trying to heal a little bit. It still hurts, but I'm getting up. I'm going to work. I'm doing a whole lot of sit-down work and just getting things distributed across America as far as my products are concerned. So I want to show you my wounds, or show you my staples before I get them taken out, and I will show you them when they're out. So here's my first side. This is my left side, to where you can see the stitches, and the other side. So this is where they stapled me, both right and left kidney. So later on today, I'm going down to Los Angeles, Kaiser Sunset, get them taken out, and we'll see how it goes. I'll talk to the doctor. Well, not just getting back. I went to my office, tried to do some office work, sat there for about 5 minutes. I said I can't do it, feeling too tired. But so I came home. So I got finished up with getting my stitches out. So here's how it looks. We put a band-aid on one, my left side, and that's how they look now afterwards. So can you see them? Yeah. So they're out. Their body still hurts. I got serious fatigue. But I'm gonna get up in the morning and go to the office, try to push out all this paperwork. As of right now, I'm gonna take a nap, let the body heal, and we'll go from there. See you tomorrow. As far as what?
Just if you wanted to leave them with some sound advice, what would you say to them? Someone picked up this DVD and
Live life to the fullest. Go after what you want. Your health is everything. I mean, your health is more valuable than $1 trillion. I would, for healthy kidneys, I would live in the streets, because, everything else could. You can accomplish everything else. Your health, you cannot necessarily accomplish. So if somebody was to say, I'll give you brand new kidneys, but you have to live in the streets for a year, I'll take it in 1/10 of a second. So that's how important health is. And I think in America, a lot of people don't necessarily look at it that way. So that would be my advice. Take care of your health and guard it as if it was a newborn baby. How do you know Demure?
I know Demure from my childhood. I played baseball with Demue. My first time recognizing Demue was wearing a black and yellow uniform, playing for the Mets, and he had a little shag underneath his hat, and it reminded me of home. I moved from Southern California, Los Angeles, to Moreno Valley area, and when I started playing baseball, Demue was one of those players that I recognized.
So I guess you consider him a friend.
Yeah, best friend.
What do you know about kidney disease?
I know what Demue tells me because
What's your name?
My name is Camille Bagwell.
How do you know Demue?
Demue's my brother. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. Me and Demue are 2 years apart, same last name. He'll probably be the closest of all my siblings.
What's your name?
My name is Billy Parker.
How do you know Demue?
Demue's my little brother. He's the 3rd sibling of our family, and it's my little brother.
What's your name?
My name is Benzina Brown.
When did you find out Demue had kidney disease?
I first found out that Demue had kidney disease when I was actually cleaning up his room. And I found a letter, a certified letter from Kaiser. And after finding that certified letter, I asked Demue, and Demue made it an appointment to go see the doctor, and I went with Demue. That was in 1991, I believe.
What do you know about kidney disease?
I know what Demue tells me because he teaches me. I had a grandmother pass away, and shortly after she got the disease, she passed away. Demue has been struggling with this situation since '92, and I never have doubts that Demue will survive. He's always been a fighter, a warrior, and whenever I hear that he's in the hospital, I always feel like he's going to come through. I always have faith that he's going to come through.
When your grandmother had kidney disease, how'd you feel? Did you think it was a serious illness? How did she present herself when she had to go through the situation she went through kidney disease?
I was a little ignorant. Didn't have enough, very little knowledge. I was young. Knew that she was a special person to my family and myself. And when it happened, it was a shock to everybody. And like I said, it happened, as a sudden surprise. And she passed away shortly after. And when I think of Demue, I think of a survivor. Their eating habits, their work ethic, they're a little different. And I think that's part of the reason why Demue is still persevered and conquered this so-called illness.
What do you know about kidney failure?
I really didn't know too much about kidney failure until he had been diagnosed with it the first time. Really didn't understand what's going on and the seriousness of it. And it's kind of shocking because I had no idea the seriousness of kidney failure, and kind of just blocked it out. Didn't visit. Saw him one time and he had all kinds of stuff hooked up to him in the hospital, and I remember going in and seeing all that stuff hooked up, so it was kind of shocking. I walked in, saw him, walked out, and then broke down. And then my mom came out and got me and said I needed to go back in and to be strong. And I said I can't, because it was hard for me to see my brother like that, because I really didn't understand what was going on. So that was like the first time.
What do you know about kidney failure?
To be honest with you, not too much, but I do know that there's acute kidney failure and there's chronic kidney failure. Basically, acute is temporary kidney failure, and chronic is major kidney failure, where one has to go through dialysis or get a transplant because their kidney has failed.
When did you find out he had kidney disease? What was your first recollection?
His mother called me on the phone and told me Demir was in the hospital. His kidney's not doing so well. And, at that time, like I said, I was in high school. Didn't really know a lot about it as of today. But that was my recollection. That's who informed me.
How'd you feel about it?
I felt I was saddened, hurt. Because I know the ability that Demir had, and so this right here was a setback that kept him from doing a few things, on the sports level.
So when you found out he had kidney failure, that's how you felt?
Yeah, that's how I felt. I didn't understand. I was confused because he was always healthy and fit and played sports and was just active. So I really didn't get how all this happened. It was mind-boggling to me. And I was young, so I wasn't sure what was going on, but I knew it was serious. So my way of coping the first time around was blocking it out.
When you found out Demir had kidney failure, how'd you feel?
Oh, I had mixed emotions. Initially, I felt scared, nervous, depressed, and for the most part, I felt shocked. And the reason why I say shocked is because Demir has always been an athlete ever since he was a little kid. Ever since as I can remember, 5 years old, he's always been an athlete. And he's always been a top-notch athlete. He's played baseball, ran track, football. He's always been into fitness. That's why I was shocked when I initially found out that he had kidney failure. It was unbelievable.
How did you feel?
When I first learned that Demir had kidney disease, I was devastated. And I wanted to do something. All I could think about was prevention.
Did you feel like you can do anything to help him?
No.
How did he act towards you?
He was always being Demir. I don't know anything different than who he is. I don't think anything's changed. I think he's made him a stronger and a better person. But as far as him changing, I think it helped him to become the man that he is today.
So you didn't think he was gonna die or anything like that, or?
I would hear it. I would hear about the condition, the life-threatening statements maybe even doctors have made, but I never believed them at one point that Demir would be, he would be leaving us, so to speak.
How did he act towards you?
During the first time, we really didn't talk much because I kind of blocked it out and I couldn't really cope with seeing him sick. So my way of coping was getting his son and spending time with his son. I would go to his baby's mom's house and pick up Sabir, who was a baby at the time, and sometimes I would get him and just bring his son around because Demir wasn't doing good. I can't even say Demir, Moo, that's what I call him, like growing up, and in the family we call him Moo. So I would get Sabir to kind of let him see his son.
Did he tell you how he felt about his disease?
We really didn't talk too much about it. I really wasn't really open because I really didn't know how to deal with it. I really never had any type of traumatic event go on in the family. So it was something new to me, and everyone copes differently. And I didn't want him to see me all broke down. So I kind of just was in and out and not really involved at the time because, like I said, I couldn't bear to see it.
Did you feel like you could do anything to help?
Initially, I felt that I could donate my kidney, you know, until I realized that, you know, we had different dads, so there might be like a 50-50 chance. But my little sister stepped up and donated her kidney because they had the same dad.
How did he act towards you when he had kidney failure?
Basically the same, you know, I mean, there's been times when there's a lot of silence, you know, but he never was disrespectful. It was, you know, the same old little brother, you know. You know, I could tell that something was weighing heavily on his mind. I knew what it was, but, you know, he never showed any signs of disrespect. You know, it's my same little brother.
How did he tell you about his disease?
He told me, you know, he had his kidney failure. He had to get rid of a kidney, but it was almost like another hurdle. Like, you know, it's something I got to deal with. You know, it happened, and you know, this is where I am. And it was like, man, he's taking it on the chin. He's taking it like a man, and it's like, well, if you can do it, you know, and I want to say anybody can because, you know, I've always known for Demille to be a strong individual. I mean, you know, he's always had a strong presence, and, you know, even when it comes to us playing sports, he's always been a dominant player. So, you know, I never thought, again, that, you know, at any moment that he would be gone. I knew about the life-threatening calls that he's had, but I've always felt like he would push through.
How do you think his lifestyle was?
His lifestyle was good. That's why I didn't understand it. He was fit. He worked out. He was in sports. He was just always doing something. He was doing a clothing line. He always had something going on, so it was like a really big shock.
Did you see any types of depression in him?
I've seen sadness at times. Like, I don't know if it was more if he was sad or if it was just me. Just seeing him laid up in something that I wasn't used to seeing. I'm pretty sure that he had to be depressed because I know at times it made me depressed.
How do you think his lifestyle was?
When you say lifestyle,
Eating habits, going out.
you know, one thing I have known, and I had one of these today, I'm very guilty. He's a steak eater. You know, he eats steak, he likes seafood. But as far as like junk food, I think he kind of stayed away from that. But more so, he was a steak eater, and really, I don't know the effects of one, you know, eating steak and what that has to do with the kidneys. I really don't have that knowledge.
Did you see any depression in him?
No.
How was his lifestyle towards you think?
Well, after he had kidney failure, his lifestyle changed. You know, he had promising dreams, you know, because he's always been an athlete, you know. He's played in minor league baseball, you know, he's playing footballs, you know, he's running track, you know. His lifestyle changed because of all the doctor's appointments and all the medication. So obviously that, you know, slowed him down a little bit. And at the end of the day, you know, I'm sure there's, you know, unfulfilled promises because of what he's going through.
Did you see any signs of depression with him? And if so, what signs did you see?
Well, just, you know, yes, I did, you know, but, you know, he didn't say anything. You know, it was written all over his face. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure I would have felt the same way, you know. I can tell it bothered him, you know. Like I said before, he's always been an athlete. And, you know, that's a hard blow. That's a hard pill to swallow. Something you can't control when you get hit with kidney failure.
Do you think you could have did anything to lessen anything that he's done as far as his illness?
I think maybe those 2 drinks we had at the Bahama's. Is that the name of it? Bahama's?
Bahama Mamas?
Bahama Mamas. put those Coors Lights back. But other than that, the times that we get together, we have good times. You know what I mean? And I think laughter is good for the soul, which is good for the spirit. And not necessarily, but I think that just having a good attitude helps. But as far as something negative on the negative, me maybe bringing some negativity to him that maybe he's not able to bear. He's bearing his own burden. But other than that, no.
Did you try to do anything to lessen it if you saw it?
Yeah, that's why I would go and get his son and bring his son around. So something to maybe uplift his spirits, because he wasn't able to get up and go get him. So I made sure I went and got him and brought his son around.
Did you try to learn more about kidney disease?
I had looked up to see what was going on, but I was kind of young and really still didn't understand the whole dynamics of it, but I learned a little bit.
Lessen the depression if you saw any?
Well, I would call him up, ask him, you want to go to the gym, hang out, do something, get out the house. That's the least I can do. I'll just try to take his mind off that. So, yes, I did. I tried. And at times, if he had the energy, we'd get out, go to the gym, or just hang out.
Did you try to learn more about kidney failure?
Oh, absolutely. It was my brother, and I was concerned, worried. So I would look on websites, talk to my mother, who's also a kidney donor, talk to other people that's going through the same thing. So absolutely.
How do you feel about organ donation?
I think it's a great thing. I think if anybody can donate their organ to somebody else so that they can live, that's always a great positive thing. I'm all for that, and I would do the same thing if I had to. If you can give an organ to someone that needs it, that's a beautiful thing.
So if you would give your organ, would you be scared? What are the things you would be scared of as far as surgery giving your organs or giving a organ?
Well, just the fact that I might not wake up. I'd be afraid that the doctor might make a mistake. I'd be afraid that I have to change my lifestyle. I'd be afraid that anything can go wrong. It's just one of those things where, life isn't guaranteed. You might not wake up. So those are the things that I'll be afraid of.
Any last words as far as a family member, you being a big brother to somebody that's going through kidney disease, as far as I don't want to say outside looking in, but just a sibling going through kidney failure?
Well, just, pray to God, pray hard, ask God to give your sibling, brother, sister, father, or whoever, the strength to go through it. Try to be there for them. Don't add any type of negativity to his or her plate. And just try to learn as much about the disease as you can. And just enjoy every moment that you can with that person. And just try to stay positive. And like I said before, just do a lot of praying.
Did you feel like you learned a lot about kidney disease through him, or just being around it?
Yes. Certain foods you eat, how to eat, your diet. You got to stay on point with the diet. I'm always being informed of, hey, put that back. Stay away from the creatine. You're trying to get bigger and stronger. The sodas, a lot of different things like that will prevent, kidney failure.
How you feel about organ donation?
I used to be biased. I've been biased. based on certain truths and history. But as far as me, myself, giving up an organ, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I've seen it done. Sometimes it's necessary. And if it can happen without, the prevention of, one's life, then, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
So you would give one to not necessarily me or Demue, but like your children, a family member?
Absolutely.
Why would you do it?
To extend their life.
Would you think you'd be scared?
Yeah. I think, if I got a shot in my arm, I'm not petrified, but I am a little fearful of needles. So, I'm pretty sure you'd have to take a few of those in order to get that process started. And just, the idea of not only a needle, but a blade, anesthesia, all of that comes to mind. So, I don't think anybody's comfortable going under the knife.
So it's the cuts of cutting your body or body open, not necessarily the taking away the kidney that scares you.
Well, that's not a fear, because if I can live without it, then I can live without it. There's nothing that I'm doing today that is mandatory if I were to take out a certain part of my body. If I was still able to live comfortably or whatever, just live just live another day, then yeah, I would take that. I would make that sacrifice.
Anything you want to add personally?
Basically, and I've gotten this has been stressed to me from Demue is basically take advantage of your opportunities. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing this right here. We setting up doing this video, and this was just a thought, and now it's manifesting, and you have an opportunity to learn from Demue and listen to him and hear his story. So, I want to sit back and see it all develop. I'm excited.
How did you feel after the transplant when you woke up? What was your emotions? Pain?
When I went in OR, like before, I was scared because we got there like 5 a.m. and the lights went out, so they had to use like the backup system. So I was like, what's going on? But anyway, they had, of course, at the hospital they have backup lights, and so we had to take the elevators. We couldn't take the elevators. We had to like walk up the stairs, and there was 2 other patients with me, and one was having a triple bypass, and one was having trying to get a tumor removed from his brain. And the guy that was having a triple bypass, he was like struggling to go upstairs, so we had to like kind of wait, and so he can catch up. And we were talking, like, what are you going to surgery for? What are you going? And then when I told them, they were like amazed at me, and I'm thinking to myself, you're getting a tumor removed from your brain. But they was like, you're an angel, and I was just like, well, thanks, okay, you know what I mean? But so it's just kind of comforting, and we actually said a prayer to each other, and I never had even met these people in my life. And then my brother came up and we talked, and then my best friend had drove, and I guess it had been snowing, and she told them that I was her, that we were cousins, and she came up and gave me a hug, said she loved me. And then the hospital chaplain came in, said a prayer for me, and asked me if I wanted to see my parents before I could go in, and I said yes. And then they just basically said how proud they are of me, and it was time to go in.
So when you woke up, how did you feel?
When I woke up, I remember the nurse calling me, and she was like, Camille, wake up. And I woke up, and I was like, what time is it? And it was like 5:38 p.m. And I said, oh my God. Because I remember going in at like 5 a.m. I was like, I've been under that long? And she was like, yes. And she was like, try to move your legs. And I couldn't move my legs yet. And so I had to stay up there. And then finally, when I can like bend my knee a little bit, she took me down. And so I went down to the room, and I was still like kind of medicated. And I was in the room, and the nurses was talking to me. And it was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, because I was being normal. Because, you know, I didn't really feel any pain at the time. And it was like, wow, you're doing good. And then my two friends busted in the door. And I was like, where are my parents at? And they was like, they ran past them to see me. And then when my parents came in, I said, where's Moo at? And they said that he was in surgery. And I was like, really? And then they was like, how are you doing? And I said, I want a steak. And then that's when my dad said he knew I was okay.
So was there any bad experience as far as giving a donation? Would you do it again if you had to?
Well, I can't do it again because I only have one kidney, but you are able to survive on one kidney. I would do it again. The surgeon was actually another person that made me feel real comforting, because when I met him, you know, I was like, hey, I'm kind of nervous, and he was like, made me feel assured that everything would be okay. And he said he had been doing it for 20 years. And I said, make sure I wake up. And he said, Camille, I'm going to make sure you wake up. And I shook his hand. I said, that's what I want to hear. So it was I had a good support system. There were some good doctors there, some good nurses that actually took care of me. And the only bad experience I said was the social worker.
Any last words as far as kidney donation, kidney organ donation?
I think that one of the reasons why I did it is because I wanted Moo to have more life, more years of life to him. I didn't think it was his time to go. I think it just wasn't his time to go. So I stepped up to the plate, and I wanted him to be around more longer. Is it scary? Yes. And I think that the list is way too long. And I think that if you have loved ones who actually have kidney failure, I think that you should look into maybe donating, because it's not as bad as it seems. You know, I still have my scar. I'm going to show it. This is my scar from the kidney thing, from when they took out the kidney, and I have two little ones like on the side. But I think that the problem is that people are really terrified to do it. And as a matter of fact, when I was working at a hospital, just on the elevator, somebody's brother had kidney failure, and she was supposed to get tested, and I had told her that I had gave my brother a kidney.
What recommendations would you have for donors and kidney disease patients?
Well, I think donation is good. I think it makes life more comfortable than dialysis. I would suggest that saving a life is a very rewarding experience. It takes nothing from your life and helps the other person gain a somewhat comfortable life. Nothing has been taken from me, and I feel that giving is the way of the world.
Any last words?
Well, I'm praying and I'm hoping that they continue to improve medically for the person with kidney disease. I watched, and I'm more conscious now of kidney disease than I ever was. Because I'm more conscious of kidney disease, I have more concern for the patient with kidney disease, and I pray that medical research will continue to improve so that the kidney patient can live a very normal, comfortable life.